I recently came to Flat Earth a couple months ago by your content from Dean Odles, Eric Dubay, and I realized this is the truth. As a Christian, who's born in a Christian household, I just realized this is really what it is, what this world is. I never felt myself spinning, never felt myself orbiting, nothing, and it's like you get that voice in the back of your head telling you, this doesn't really make sense, but you kind of keep going with it. Point is that I've been telling friends and family about my beliefs and different things like that, and I had a conversation with another my friend. His name is well, I won't share his name, but basically we are having a conversation, and he was pretty interested in it. And then we eventually kind of started like debating back and forth. I would send like flat Earth memes from the from your app into the group chat and stuff like that, just like spam a bunch, like 5, 10 of them. It'd be funny to get their reactions, but he was one of them that was mainly like, decently interested in flat Earth, so we would talk back and forth quite a bit. But he'd have different objections, and that's why I was like, okay, let's get on a show with you and talk about it all together because I wasn't so sure myself. Not enough to doubt like flat Earth, but Joe was just kind of like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, he didn't want to make it. It's just over time, it seemed like he lost interest in it. He was saying how, he felt a little like intimidated, different things like that. Um, I was a little disappointed, but it's okay. You know, I think you're muted.
What happens is these people deep down inside, they understand that, hey, there's something true to this, and if I go on with this, it could be embarrassing. So literally their ego deep down knows the truth, and he chickened out. So we'll just, instead of saying his name, we'll just call him Scaredy Cat Glober. Okay. So
Yeah, yeah, like I can, on one hand, I can kind of understand because it's like, me and you, like, we're like, I've been recently getting into Tartaria too and stuff like that. So, like, me and you, like, we're relentless truth seekers. I mean, at least for me, I just like want to be right. And then that automatically leads to being a truth seeker because
well,
I
hold
just,
on. You want to be
you know,
right, or you want to know the truth? You don't want to be right. You want to know the truth. I mean,
yeah,
Globers just want to be right. I just want to know the truth. And I know that
same here, same here.
the non-globular flat Earth is the truth.
I
So
agree. I 100% agree.
he's got a list of questions, and we're going to go through them. Let's see. Let's hear. They're
Yeah. So
guessing they're
these
all
are
the
the two biggest
basics.
things. Yeah. So these are the two biggest ones that he had. So the first one is the Southern Star Trail. So if you know, in the south hemisphere, we'll call it, you can see clockwise star trails. Um, with what, anti-Polaris in the center or something like that, and you can see time, like videos on YouTube showing, okay, in the north you're seeing a counterclockwise rotation above you, as you should see on a flat Earth, but then when you're looking away from the north to the south, and you're, on the southern hemisphere, you're seeing a different rotation that's going opposite of the northern rotation. And he's like, how can you see that on a flat Earth? And I have your app. I think it's really good. I love it. And I went to the Southern Star section and watched some of the videos there. And basically, from what I got from the videos was that it was some sort of like optical illusion or something like that, where it's almost like anti-crepuscular rays, I think
Yeah.
is what you
So
call it.
it's a whole bunch of things. It's a whole bunch of things. Let me.
Yeah.
We done? I can
Yeah.
just.
Sure.
So
Yeah. It's basically just what is it?
yeah, it could be a bunch of things, but first we have to start out with, what is a star? A star is a burning ball of gas in a space vacuum. Can't happen, can't be. Why are we talking about the motions of something that can't exist? You don't even know what it is. But let's assume on a flat Earth, we got our stars, whatever they are. They're here, they're small, they're close, and they rotate in opposite directions. Now, I don't know if this works on video. Is this clockwise or counterclockwise?
That would be counterclockwise for me.
This is clockwise. You're in the south, I'm in the north, right? This is
I
clockwise.
can kind of see
This
that.
is my left shoulder. This is my right shoulder. I'm going around like a clock. So if somebody's in the south and they're looking out, stuff is rising from their left shoulder and going to their right shoulder, or vice versa, whatever. And then somebody's here looking in, it's coming from the right shoulder to the left shoulder, same direction. No matter where you are on Earth, all luminaries rise in the east, set in the west. Then you have to take it a step farther. This is an advanced question that we see in our personal atmospheric dome. And I think I have it on the app. Maybe I could show it here. On the more resources page, we go down, I believe, to the bottom. We say, thanks, Walter. Oh, I can't open that. Oh, maybe I can. Hold on. If I can I go like that and then bring this over? Can you see that? Oops.
I can kind of see, and I'm seeing like some orange and black colors there.
Hold on. Can you see that?
Yeah, I think I can see that now, but you'll have to scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Got it. If it'll scroll. Will the page scroll? There we go. So this is Walter Bislin's. Hopefully I can move the controls. All right. So this is our personal atmospheric dome. So the person standing in the middle, this is how we see, right? And if I can move, all right. So here's the sun right here. This is the sun, the real sun. Okay. And then we see the sun here. So it goes like that as it's going around. So this one is really going this way. And this one, if you turn around, is going the other way. They're rising the east, set in the west. Another thing people say is, well, how does it set south of the Tropic of Capricorn? And if you look, it is setting south here. It is going around, and then it just goes away. It doesn't go below the horizon. It just goes out of reach. So that's how the sun goes around. So you can play with that on the app, and there's all sorts of controls that you can make it bigger, smaller. You can pick
how did you get there?
The day of the year. So it's right. Let me see if I can get back. Go back. If I go back this way, there you go. Wow, I'm getting good at this. On the app right here, the more resources page, which is it's the web button, the button that looks like a web. If you hold down a button, you get a description of what it does. All right.
Oh, okay, good.
So you hold down a button and it gives you a description of what it does. All right. And so you go to the more resources, you scroll to the very bottom, and it's this puppy right here, Walter Bislin. Now, this is a glober. This is a glober to show us how we see the sun, and he proved the flat Earth. He's a globe believer. He hates flat Earth, but his model is exactly how the flat Earth works. All right. So that's another thing. And then there's another guy, which there's probably some videos in the section called Tomb of Illumination, the guy that has the whiteboard. He's got the whiteboard.
I think I saw one of them.
His stuff, it's like a college level course. But if you sit and watch his stuff, hey, that makes a lot of sense to me. He's talking about the northern stars being reflections into the outer, and there's four circles of rotation. I don't even fully understand it, but it makes...
and like if you take a picture of if you do whatchamacallit, a time trail of each of them, you go to different locations, it all makes a full circle. Like it looks like they're going in different directions, but when you put all the pieces together from different locations, it becomes like a mosaic type of thing, which is very interesting.
So star trails prove absolutely nothing, even if they were going in the same direction on a flat.
I know, that's what I always thought too. It's like, even if they were like, what if they were teleporting all around? It's like, that doesn't determine the floor really, you know?
Right.
It doesn't really matter what they're doing. But, you know, he's probably watching this like, no, well, I have so-and-so to say. But
this isn't live. This isn't live, so he can't say
it.
So this is another claim that he'll probably make, because he loves watching Professor Dave, is that you can see from all four locations, you can see the Southern Cross at the same time, right? We can't even tell you exactly where all these southern locations are in relation to each other. I mean, there's no proof of that. And the other thing is, there's only 20 minutes of one day per year where it's possible from all three continents to see to see the three locations, right? To see the Southern Cross. Let me just flip this.
Hmm.
So it's on the globe, you everyone would be looking in these different directions. So this guy would be looking here, this guy would be looking here, right? Let me just move this over. So here, South Africa, he wants you to believe that one guy's looking this way, one guy's looking this way, and one guy's looking that way.
Right.
That's nonsense. That's not happening. Even on a flat Earth, right? But
Hmm.
I think it's July 8th. I'm not sure, but it's 6 p.m. here, and there still can see stars, right? It's 11 p.m. here and 5 a.m. here, just on this little tip, and then you can see the Southern Cross, right? And that's because they're looking south, and he's looking south, a little bit southwest, southeast, and dead south,
Hmm.
right? But with magnetic declination and everything, they got you all screwed up. You don't know what direction you're looking. But think about this. On a globe, if South America's over here and Australia's over here, this guy's looking at according to, Professor Dave, who I'm sure that's where he's getting this from. This guy would see it over here, and this guy would see it over here. So they would see the Southern Cross upside down, right? Like
Hmm.
I see my palm and then my fingers. I see my palm and then my fingers. You see my fingers and then my palm, right? So you're looking at my hand upside down. You with me?
Kind of making sense, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So,
It's
but
all about
on a
perspective, right?
yeah, no, but on a globe, if we're on a globe, put a little guy on a globe on the bottom here and a guy here, and he's looking at one guy's looking at the number 6 or the Southern
Hmm.
Cross. The other one's going to be upside down, but nobody ever sees it
Right,
upside
right,
down.
right.
No one ever sees it upside down. They all see it in the same orientation, like they're all on a flat Earth or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I remember one of the other videos you had on the Southern
they all
Star
see
Trail section
it
was
like that. Good.
yeah, makes sense. Is that the dome was like you put a light, I don't know if it was in the dome or outside the dome, and it looked like it was reflecting to make like the same circular shape there, but it looked like reflected.
Right.
I don't know
So,
if you remember that, but is that what's happening? Is because because
well,
he was saying one of the other things he said was that you can't see like the Big Dipper in the southern, like if it was an optical illusion and all those stars you saw were the stars in the north, why can't you like identify constellations in the north that, if the south is just an optical illusion of what's going on in the north?
because you gotta watch Tomb of Illumination. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, I should probably.
They would all be in different orientations, like because they're all different, they would reflect, and we would see them in different constellations. But he was able to identify groups of stars. It appears. Now, I'm not saying that's the
Mhm.
answer because we don't even need to talk about stars because stars in the heliocentric model are giant balls of gas that collapse upon each other and burn in a space vacuum.
Vacuum.
That can't happen. That can't happen. So why
Right.
are you looking up at the sky where you can't prove anything? You don't know how big or far, what things are made out of, what they are, how they behave, and people just love looking up at the sky, um, to prove the shape of the floor. This is what you're talking about.
Right,
This
I
right
agree.
here. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, something. Yeah, like the dome,
Yeah.
but also like there were like some stars too. Like it made a swirl and then it like reflected that swirl. But that's also what I'm talking about too. Like that. It's just the dome seems like it has some sort of effect. Or the firmament has some sort of effect on the stars. But like, what do you think is making these different like optical illusions with the stars and stuff like that?
Let's talk about stars for a little bit. They tell us stars are giant balls of gas, which I said, that have collapsed upon each other and turned into nuclear furnaces. But when we use today's optics, we see stuff like this. What the heck is
Right.
that? What is that? Right? To me, that is a sentient, living, non-physical something. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, but it's
Yeah.
not trillions and trillions and bazillions of miles away, which is just absolutely ridiculous. When we focus on a star, you can focus past the star, you can focus in front of a star, and you can focus right on the star. But when you focus on the moon or a planet, you can just move the camera to any one of the others and they're all in focus. It's like they're
Hmm.
all the same distance. It's kind of weird,
Right.
right? I think that they all are very
Yeah,
close
and
to
you
the
can
same.
see so much detail, and it's
Yeah.
like they say that's all like some type of like camera effect when you look at that in light, but then why does it look different with each star? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is another
But
star, right? So what are they? I don't know, man. I think that stars are souls. That's me. Stars are souls
yeah,
in this living system that we're in. That's just my opinion, and there's no proof of that at all, other than Neil deGrasse Tyson
right, right,
says we're
right.
made from stardust. We're all made
Yeah,
from stars.
he's a crazy guy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it definitely is like there's nothing we can definitively a lot we can definitively not say about stars. So there's really no point in arguing with them. So
right,
I definitely agree with that too. It's like, oh, what's causing, like we can see and make out the different constellations, but as to how everything is working, that's like it's
right,
probably not what the creator intended.
right.
Like we don't have to know how
Here's what I was trying to
every bit
explain
works.
before. This is how you can how you can see it's only 20 minutes of one day of the year.
Right.
But they want you to believe that you're looking under. So they're all
Yeah,
seeing
makes
this
no
thing right
sense.
side up. It would be upside down for somebody else. One guy would have to
Hmm.
see it upside down.
For sure, for sure. I'll definitely take a look at that guy Tomb of Illumination a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one. Go to his subs
yeah.
channel and
So
just try to watch like one video a day of his, because any more than that, your brain will melt.
yeah, he has a big whiteboard. I'm like, I can't read that. But so I do have one side question just before you kind of move away from stars.
Go
Does
ahead.
Polaris make a small circle or does it stay still? Because
No, think about this. Polaris makes a very small circle. Polaris is at
okay, okay.
it's at our center, right? A very small circle, very small. And so it's
Gotcha,
here.
gotcha.
But
Okay.
here's the thing. All of our stars circle around Polaris. Okay, that's because the stars are
Correct.
stationary. And this is the heliocentric belief. We're spinning, and whatever our axis points to, that would be the center. And the stars aren't really rotating, we're rotating. Answer me this.
Right.
Answer me this. All of the planets, we're supposedly in the heliocentric model orbiting around the sun, and so are the planets. All of the planets circle around Polaris.
Hmm.
They all make circles around Polaris. How what is it
Wandering
is
stars.
that just a coincidence that our north pole of axis points to the one thing that's at the center of every planet's orbit?
I know.
They're not going around the sun, although
And
they
there's not like other miniature Polarises all
yeah,
around with
there's only
stars
one,
going
right?
around their own. There's just one.
They all circle around Polaris. Nobody's thinking about this because it's kind of hard to visualize.
Right.
But and the sun circles around Polaris, and the position of the sun, they're just like, oh no, everything's going around the sun. No, it's not. Everything circles around Polaris. That's
Right.
that's one problem is
That
Glober mentality don't have the processing ability to think that through. They don't.
yeah.
I didn't when I was a
So
Glober. It took a while to
same
work
here.
on
I
the
mean,
process. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about anything when I was a Glober.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is one of his other questions that he has here. This was probably one that I couldn't even really like. I didn't see much material on this, but let's see if what you think about it. So I'm gonna read it like verbatim. So if the sun sinks to the horizon, it must be low to the ground. If it's low to the ground as it would need to be, example, about 349 kilometers, doing some trigonometry, then you should see huge variances in the angular size of the sun and moon depending on where you are. Example, Nigeria versus France. We don't observe variance in angle sizes of these objects in the same day/night. Therefore, the sun must be higher. But if it's higher, it wouldn't set because setting would be when your angular eye zone diminished there. Therefore, the flat Earth model is false. So basically, he's just saying because he did math where there's somebody at the equator, and then there's a sun on the opposite end of the equator, and then a 1 degree of anglage between the observer and the sun would, I think, equate to 349 kilometers. And he's saying that we should see size differences. Pretty much what I read there. Of course, he can't clarify anything because he's not here, but that's basically the gist of what he's trying to say.
Right. I know exactly what he's
Like,
saying.
how high is the sun? How high is the sun is
Well, we
basically the
don't know.
top
I think it's
question.
very close. But I'm trying to find my why the sun doesn't shrink, and that it
Yeah.
actually does shrink a little bit depending on the weather. It's all weather related. Um,
Yeah, the atmospheric magnification.
yeah. Well, that too. So here, let's just try this. Not exactly what I wanted, but we'll start there. Um, so we see in this dome of vision, right? So here's the real sun, and
Correct.
somebody over here, let me make this a little smaller, get out of the way. Um, so that person would see the sun right there. This person would see the same sun right there, and that person would see the same sun right there. This is not exactly answering your question right
Mm.
now, but this is everybody sees the sun in an apparent position. So the real sun and the apparent sun. And that's how we see
Mm.
inside of this. All right. So that's how we see. All right. So
Right, right,
here's
right.
a real world example of that, which I'm sure you've seen. My sky sheet, right? I have a light 10 feet behind this curtain, which we'll call the sky. And so we're seeing the light here. Are we seeing the flashlight? Or are we seeing the light in the sky? This is the sky. So my
Light in
wife
the
is over here
sky.
on the left, and she sees the sun right there. So I do a little X with a Sharpie on the sheet, right?
Hmm.
She sees the sun over there while I see it right there. We're seeing the same thing at the same time in two different positions, right?
Okay. Yeah, makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, so let me get to why the sun doesn't appear to shrink, if I can remember where that was. Um, so here's his here's his thing about oops, don't want that yet. Hold on. Here's his thing about the sun. He's watching Larkin Rose also. I know exactly which troll videos he's watching. And so there we all see prospectively, but nobody ever sees orthographically. So flat earthers said, yeah, the sun's 3,000 miles up and 30 miles wide. Well, it could be 1,500 miles up and 15 miles wide, or it could be 5 miles up and 5 miles wide. And, you could scaling and variance. We don't know, but it works at 3,000 and, 30 miles wide or whatever it is. So, all right. So if it's 3,000 miles high, got a guy here, and we go 3,000 miles this way, right angle on a flat Earth.
Okay.
We know that this is 40 this is like 45 degrees here, right? So this would be half of 90. This guy would see it at 45 degrees, and then 6,000 miles away. So this guy's on the East Coast, this guy's on the West Coast, and this guy's in Hawaii, right? So when the sun's in Hawaii, in New York, it's nighttime, right? When it's
Right.
early afternoon, noon, it's 6 p.m. in Hawaii, and the
Hmm.
sun's setting. But this person here only sees it at 27, about 27 degrees off the ground. It would never set. Even go out another 3,000 miles, it's going to be out here. It's not going to set. That's a great argument if we saw the world orthographically. That's not how we see the world. We see the world like this. Perspective makes it look like it's
Hmm.
going down, make it look like it's going away. And so that's why it sinks beyond the
Hmm.
horizon. All right. So this is
Right, because what we're seeing in our own personal atmospheric
yeah.
dome, we're not seeing the sun literally where it is.
So your friend talking about why the sun doesn't shrink. You got to remember the atmosphere magnifies things. So as the sun's going away, it's also being magnified at the same time. But that's not the real thing. The real thing is this: watch this train go away. Look, it's getting smaller. He thinks the sun should do the same thing, right? So the train gets smaller as it goes away. You with me? Makes sense.
Yeah,
Perspective. And so if that was the sun, it would
perfect
be
sense.
getting smaller and smaller and smaller, right?
Hmm.
So perspective makes things like these lines are all level, but look at these lines. These are level with the yellow line. They're level. You with me? So
Yeah.
this is a orthographic view, and this is the orthographic view, and this is the perspective view. So we're standing behind this guy, and the sun goes away like this. It just goes as it goes away. It looks like it's going to go down for this guy. Watch
Hmm.
you from behind. and view from the side. Nobody ever sees anything from the side. And so it looks like it's going down, right?
What do you mean the side?
Well, a side view, like you don't see, like if I'm looking at a row of lights down there, I see them like this. You never see anything as an orthographic view. That's Muppet vision. It's like seeing from the side of your face, right? You don't see, like, you can't look at light, a row of lights going away from you from the side. From the side, they're going to look straight. From your view, they're going to look like they go down, right? So here's the thing. I forget what the principle is called, but when something is already small and far away, it's already small. And as it goes away, it doesn't get much smaller. It gets a little smaller. But the thing is, as it goes away, you're looking through more and more and more atmosphere. And that atmosphere is magnifying a little bit. So there's a little bit of a yin yang balance. As it's getting a little bit smaller, it's being magnified. There's other times, and I'll show you a sunset in a minute, where the sun does shrink, just like your friend says it doesn't, right? So here's a real world example, right? Now let me ask you, have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen this.
Okay, so you've seen this, but I could be fooling you. That could be a ping pong ball right next to it.
Right.
Right? It could be stuck right to it, right on top of it. You don't know, but it's actually another wiffle ball, and it's 6 feet away, I think. And when we just move the camera straight up, okay, we move the camera straight up, not getting any closer to the other ball, right? We're making this smaller because we're moving farther away. Look, they're becoming the same size. And if I rolled this ball down the track 7 feet away, 6 feet away, it would basically be the same size. Look, there is a little bit of difference. There is a little bit of difference, not much. But that little bit of difference, I say it's made up with atmospheric magnification. Right? And then also there's another thing. It's not just atmospheric magnification, it's the way our mind thinks. When you see a giant moon or a giant sun on the horizon, it's the same friggin' size as very close to the same size as it is when it's above your head. What's above your head, it looks tiny. What's on the horizon, it looks huge. Hold your arm out. It's like, okay, my pointer finger, the fingernail will cover it perfectly. And then wait until the sun's up in the sky and it does the same thing. It blocks it out the same, even though it looks 3 times the size when it's on the horizon. This is how our mind sees. Let me show you. I'll show you something. Let me show you the other sunset so he can see this. Right. And let's just look at this real quick. So this line here is a level line. It looks like it's going straight down. It's the same as this line. This one's being filmed from a celestial point of view, which is the same height. This one's being filmed from the ground, a terrestrial point of view. So it's just going away. This is the same line. It's the same film. And it's not going below this. It's going beyond it. That thing, it's hard to see right here. It's right here. Okay. It's just going beyond it. Right. It's going, you can see the thing right here. It's just going beyond it. But because I'm on the ground,
right,
and because it's far away, it looks like it's at my eye level. And it's just going beyond it. Right? So
makes perfect sense.
Yep. And then let me go ahead.
Yeah, he also pointed out like another question that also too like if the sun is probably not gonna phrase this the best. I didn't but like it's going on the other side. It's still like we're not turning away from it in the heliocentric model. It's just going farther away. And he's saying if the reason we can't see any of its light is because of what is it? What's that law where light gets a quarter of its size when you
the inverse square law? The inverse square law?
That the only reason that you can't see the sun's light is because of the inverse square law, but we should be able to see the sun's light, if it's nighttime for us with some type of instrument or something like that.
No.
I don't know if
so I'm gonna explain why you can't. This was filmed in Afghanistan, super dry day, right? Super sped up. There's no moisture in the air. Air is really clear, and the sun's just going away. The cameraman is not falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. The sun is going away, and it's getting smaller and smaller, and it's taking its light with it, right? The fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head sees the world spinning round. Um, and there's lots
Yeah,
of
it does get smaller there.
yeah, it definitely gets smaller. And we've done it with a solar filter, and it does get smaller and it does turn, right? This is just the sun's just hanging in the air and it's just
That
moving.
looks huge.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of glare.
Is that zoomed in?
No, it's just a little bit of
Okay.
glare, but I'm going to speed it up, and it's just moving away, and it's taking its
Uh,
local light with it. You see that the beam on the water, nice and level. You can't get that
correct.
on. I'm just moving forward a little bit, and it's just moving away. It's a local light taking its
Mm-hmm.
light with it. Right? If it was 93 million miles away, it would light up the whole horizon, but it's not. It's just moving away, and it went beyond
Correct.
where you can see. So let me um let me show you. Where are we? Um, so so here is all right, here is this. The perspective grid. This is for your buddy. I know you've seen it if you watch my stuff, right? This is how we see everything ramps up, ramps in, and this, it goes to the vanishing point. Here is our guy, our eye line. We throw this mountain in. This mountain is thousands of feet above his head. Thousands.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fact. The sun's above it. The sun moves away. It goes beyond it. It goes beyond it. Easy.
Right.
It's not below it. This guy could go up in the air, fly up in the air, and oh, there's the sun. I see it. It's just blocked by the mountain. But he can go backwards too. Like, let's say he goes backwards 20 miles. This is probably less than 20 miles. But
Yeah.
this is still thousands of feet over his head. Now, if the Earth was a globe, 20 miles, you have to subtract like 400 feet off that mountain. Okay. There's 400 feet of
Mm-hmm.
curvature. It's still thousands of feet above his head, above his eye line, but it looks like it's at his eye line. The sun just goes beyond it
Mm-hmm.
again. Now we add the cloud, the atmospheric deck. Even when there's no clouds, the atmosphere over distance compresses and becomes opaque. Now the sun just goes beyond this line here. So this line,
Right.
which is opaque, is it consists of the tops of the mountains, which are thousands of feet above his eyes, and it consists of the
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, the atmos, which is compressed and opaque, which is thousands of feet above the mountain, and the sun just goes beyond it. Now he could go up and possibly see it if he gets above the clouds, above the atmosphere. He would definitely
Mm-hmm.
see. He would definitely see the sun. He would definitely see the. He would definitely see the sun again. However,
Mm-hmm.
not because of the inverse square law, because of the opacity of the atmosphere. Now, down here in the dark, my friends are at the beach. The sun is already set. They saw it set from the bottom up because of perspective, because of what I just showed you. They saw
Right.
the sun go away because 5 miles over the water, there's land, and those trees, which are hundreds of feet above their head, look like they're at his eye level, and it just goes beyond the trees. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beyond the horizon, which is above your eye level, right? So I'm filming this super cold day
Mm.
with a drone, 4K camera, and I'm watching the sun is just sitting there. I got this super sped up. It's just sitting. It should, even if it's out of focus, I don't care. It was going down, 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 down. If the earth is spinning, it should never stop. It should always go. It just sat here for 10 minutes. And I'm zoomed in on this, right? It's sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting here. And finally, there's so much atmosphere between it and the camera that the atmosphere just eats it and it goes away.
Mm.
No
So it's
inverse
not
square
even like,
law. I mean, inverse square law, it's getting dimmer because of distance, but the atmosphere, I'm just
okay.
moving it back and forth. The atmosphere blocks
Right. It just
the sun.
swallows it.
Yeah. The sun doesn't have the ability to push through. The sun's super powerful, and it can push through.
Mm.
It can push through what we normally don't see. It can push through when we farther than something that's just reflecting light. Here's Mount Canigou out here, 175 miles away. Can't see it because, according to the Earth curve calculator from this viewing point in France, the top of the mountain should be over a half a mile below the curve, below a physical curve. Right? If this is the ball, my mouth is hidden behind the curve. You can't see it.
You're right.
Right? And the sun, twice a year, when it's migrating between the tropics, it blocks. It's right in between Mount Canigou and the viewing spot. And if you look, it's starting to backlight it. And we'll just go forward here. And all of a sudden, you can see the whole mountain clearly. The top of the mountain right here should be over a half a mile behind a physical curve. Now, the globe are excusing
Crazy.
that
Refraction,
the
right?
sun are already set and it refracted up. How does the mountain refract up and block the refracted sun? The mountain doesn't have any light on it. How is it refracting up and blocking the refracted sun? The reason you can't
I
figure it
know.
out is because it's stupid and it's unfigureoutable. It's just stupid. It's
Yeah, I
just
always thought it was weird. It's like every
yeah,
single piece of evidence, like camera that shows that there's no curve, it's like refraction for every single picture.
yeah.
Like
Now, never
it's like,
once
you
has
kidding me?
anyone shown refraction take a object, a clear object, from behind something and made it appear. Now you can refract something and it pushes it down. Opposite problem for the globe, right? It doesn't refract it up. Nothing can be hidden and refract up and be shown. Hasn't happened. No one's ever done it, right? And then
Right.
we have this observation where we can see these 7 or 8 mountaintops. They should be over 40 miles below a physical curve.
Crazy.
Do you know what mainstream says about this one?
What?
Nothing. They won't even address it. Because if they
Nothing.
do,
So
yeah.
refraction is like it can't do this to them.
Refractions
I still don't know
picking,
entirely
yeah,
how it works.
picking up all of these mountains and making them stop on the same level. It's just refracting them up. Why, if it's refracting them up 40 miles, why doesn't it refract them up 80 miles or 30 miles or
I
70
know.
miles? It always refraction just knows where your eye level is and it always stops
Right.
right there. So it's refracting the mountains up 40 miles. It's refracting this land up in front of it, 30 miles, and this land 20 miles, and it's refracting up this land. Bullshit. Okay. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. And
I
you know,
know.
and the people that
It
defend the
is dumb.
globe, they don't know the diameter of the earth or how it was found. How did
Until
they figure it
until they
out?
talk to a flat earther.
Yeah, they don't know the circumference. They don't know the speed. They don't know any of it. None of it makes any sense whatsoever.
Yep. And just want to stay on the topic of refraction real quick. You know, obviously that they're gonna just shout refraction all day. Is there a way that we can prove that the ground is level besides taking a picture of something that should be hidden behind curvature? Are there other ways to prove that?
Well, there it's difficult. It takes you got to go out and find the right location, and one of these the where is it the this guy where is it? There it is. So this guy went out to this lake. So large bodies of water at rest lay flat. They need containment, and when it gets cold and it's at rest, it'll freeze and it'll freeze flat. So this was frozen 8 miles, and so he's out there at night in the snow, freezing, and he get his camera 6 inches off the ground, and he zooms out, and he could see these lights, and they're 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles away. Well, the
Hmm.
curvature should be 30 feet, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet. They should be behind a physical curve, but for some reason, they've all refracted up and stopped on the same line.
Right.
If that's not proof to you, I can't help you. Okay. I can't help
I
you.
know.
But there's proof right there that's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And
Right.
when they talk about refraction, well, refraction changes every day. Visibility changes every day. And that's why they said, oh, the Chicago skyline is a mirage, right? Remember this? It's a mirage.
Hmm.
That's what the weatherman said. Well, here is the Chicago skyline, time lapse. I think it's almost a full day, and it's still there. The buildings aren't moving. Buildings aren't moving. They're still there. Still there. See the buildings right here.
Wow.
That isn't
That's
moving.
crazy.
It's so the weather's changing. The building's still not moving. Where's the refraction?
Refraction.
Right? It's going to go nighttime.
That's
Still there.
awesome.
Yeah, still there. So they never move at all. They never move at all. If you can't see that, I can't help you. Right? Here's the thing. After your friend sees this, if he's still clinging to his ball like a little pussy, excuse me, All right.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'll be
Uh,
nicer. I'll be nicer. I'm sorry. I
yeah,
backed it up.
one of
But
the he was
if
also
he's
like, yeah,
if he's still clinging to it, I know that I know. Listen, sometimes I get a little fired up.
yeah, he was a little,
You might have
yeah, I
to
know.
you might have to find some new friends.
The Globers would be way ruder though. Can we
Yeah.
both agree on that?
No,
Like if
no,
I
I
went on
can't.
a
I can't.
Glober
I can't
show,
agree on that.
they'd be way ruder.
Globers are really rude, but flat earthers are passionate, and they're sometimes they're complete and total assholes. All right, I will admit it, and I try to I try to refrain from doing that. What do I got here?
Yeah.
Oops. Listen, some of my links aren't aren't good. All right. Some of my stuff is just disappearing, but maybe maybe they're out to get me. What else? What else has he got?
All right. So let me see. I think those were his two like biggest questions, and I actually have some questions of my own. You
Good.
know, get a little bit nerdy here. Do you think are the sun, moon, and other luminaries inside the firmament or the outside?
I don't know, but I think that the sun and the moon that we see are in an optical position to to each person, just like I showed you with the
Hmm.
sheet. So that would mean that the source of the sun and the moon are within the firmament, within it or above it. Let me ask you a question. In the Bible it says God placed the sun and the moon in the firmament,
Hmm.
right? I think the sun and the moon that we see are under the firmament. Here's the question. When you put your milk in the refrigerator, do you put it under the refrigerator or do you put it in the refrigerator?
In the refrigerator.
Okay, so if the refrigerator was the firmament above the floor and the milk was the sun, and God said he put the sun in the firmament, it sounds like it's in the firmament and then we're under the firmament.
You could say
Under
that, yeah.
under and in are two different things.
Hmm.
So God separated the waters from the waters, created the firmament. We're under the firmament. God put the
Right?
sun in the firmament. That's my interpretation. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Are you
But I think
are
the
you
firmament
familiar?
is thick. And I think that there's stuff going on there, the workings of the sky clock and our living system that we live.
Right. Are you familiar with the seven firmament model? Have you ever heard
Oh
of that?
yeah. Oh yeah. The seven layers, right?
Right, seven layers. So the seven heavens. That's why
And there's
there's
one below
plurality
us
in the word
about
heavens.
7.8 miles below us. That sounds like a firmament to me. They couldn't drill through it, right? Who knows, right? Who knows what's down there? But again,
Maybe hell.
we can speculate about all sorts of stuff that we can't reach, that we're not allowed to go to. That's fun, but we don't need to. I can just prove the earth is flat here. And
True.
the thing is, everybody needs NASA. That's their best proof. And we can prove that NASA
Authority.
are complete and total liars. So why would you believe anything they say? Why would you ever believe anything they say? There's actually nobody on earth that's less trustworthy than NASA. Nobody. Even like the head mob guy, more trustworthy than more honor, I'm sure, than NASA.
Yeah. Wasn't one of the founders like a Satanist or something? Because when you search up the founders on Google, you get Eisenhower or something like that. Is that misinformation there? Is that like, or is it like multiple founders that are like,
So,
I heard that they were evil or something.
well,
I
yeah,
haven't looked into
the founders of NASA are here are the founders. We got Ronald Hubbard, founder of Scientology, Walt Disney, cartoon maker, Werner von Braun, ex-Nazi, Jack Parsons, an occultist, and Aleister Crowley, the most wicked man on earth. These are the founders of NASA and JPL. Okay, what the heck is going on there? Look at all all the astronauts are doing their Freemason stuff, the
that.
rituals on the international.
Freemason.
There's some crazy stuff they do in that International Space Station studio. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
Is there like a site or something you can go on to like, to shut up my friends, like these are the founders? Because I don't know if when you look it up, they show these people or
I don't know.
whatnot.
You go on the app. If you go to the more resources page, and then you go to Flat Earth videos, there's some great stuff there, and one of them, or the NASA nonsense. There's NASA going nowhere since 1957 or 1959, whatever it is. Um, it's a great Jeranism made that. And it's a great documentary, just showing how they kick the can down the road. And I think he mentions who the founders are in that.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, that's a
All
good one.
right, yeah, I'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that. Yeah.
All right,
Um,
and you've had my app for how long?
I'm not sure. It's been a little while.
Did you fill out?
I don't want to say a specific date,
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, where are you going with this?
Oh, I wasn't even showing you. Did you fill out the referral form? You want this. So you click there, and this is where you do your referrals. So you'll have a random number here, and just click the pencil and
Mhm.
put in whatever with something that you remember. And then anytime you're talking to somebody about flat Earth and you show them the app and they go, "Where do I get that app?" Just say, "Use my referral code," and you could earn points, and you trade the points in for the subscription, or you can just you can
Mm.
just you can just you can just climb up on the leaderboard. A lot of people don't like crashing in their points because they want to be up on the leaderboard. My lunch break, you're into
Wow.
Tataria, right? Are you watching my lunch
Yeah.
break yet?
Yeah, I've been watching him a bit.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Oh,
Good, he's good.
yeah. Um, and have you been watching lately the if you go to the homeschool, Jake, I'm the improbable dreamer, this guy?
Improbable Dreamer, the Doctor.
Yeah. Have you watched him? Go he just click that
I've
link
seen
in
like one or two.
in the
Yeah.
homeschool section. You need to follow him
Gotcha.
daily. You need to watch all of his stuff and make sure you just heart each one of his videos. That way, when you go back, you'll know which ones you missed. His stuff
For
has been
sure.
off the hook lately. He's just been showing. I mean, anybody that doubts Tataria, now Tataria was a worldwide organization, civilization called Tataria. I have no idea. I say Tataria just means old world. Okay. There was the
Right.
Tatarian
Simple
Empire.
name.
Yeah, it was the Tatarian Empire. Their flags are in our history books. The whole thing,
Griffins.
Griffins. Yeah, it's crazy.
I
These
know, it's
these
undeniable.
two have been killing it, and of course, John Levy, a classic every Sunday. Um, great stuff to
Yeah,
watch. Great stuff to watch. How old are you?
for sure, for sure. I'm 18.
You're 18. Are you going to
Graduated high
college?
school. Yeah, I plan on enrolling this year, yeah.
Don't go to college. Don't. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do? Do you have any
Well,
passions?
I
Something you want to do?
I I didn't want to do college. Like okay, so I wanted to become, or I want to become someone in software engineering, specifically like web development, app development, or
So
game
go
development and stuff
go
like that.
work for a web development company. Work for free. It'll cost less than college. Okay? Just
Yeah,
go and
I know.
have
I'm
them
just
train you. You're
because
going to
like
learn bullshit in college. You're going to learn nothing. You're
I
going to
know
learn
that I
absolutely
agree with
nothing.
you. I agree with
And you're going to
you.
spend
It's
a
just
shit ton of money.
yeah, I mean it's just a local college that's pretty inexpensive, but
Even
it's
if it was free,
like I
don't
agree.
go. Don't go.
I agree.
And
I
listen to
agree. But
Crow. Listen to Crow. You need to catch up on all 500 episodes he's done. Crow 777 Radio, right there.
on what? On what?
He's got a podcast. It's audio only. It's 2 hours. And I tell people, don't send your kid to college. Have them listen to 5 Crow episodes a week, 4 old ones and 1 new one each week, right? Because there's 1 new one every week. And by the time a month or two goes by, they're going to be more prepared for this world than anybody else will be. All right. This is the podcast you need to listen to. And
I'll
it's
take a
cheaper than
look.
your college. It's $8 a month. Okay. It's easy.
Wow.
And you could start out just by listening to hour one. Hour one's free, but you're going to want hour two because that's where the juice comes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
amazing
just
stuff. Amazing stuff. Don't go to college.
the main reason is not specifically for the piece of paper, it's just like my parents would want me to have more of a social life and stuff like that. Because
Oh,
it's
I'm down
not,
with that. I'm
when you're
down with
working on your own,
listen, I'm down with
yeah.
the social life. So instead of
It's
going to
not, yeah,
college,
it's not really
rent
too much for the
rent a
paper.
house with a bunch of friends, and all of you listen to Crow. You talk about it, and you can do cool stuff. You can do cool stuff. I get it. If I was starting over and I had kids right now, I would find some other like-minded friends, maybe 10 of them. I would rent a house on like Cape Hatteras or somewhere cool, right? They'd all stay there, then they'd have their assignments. Their assignment is listen to Crow each day, listen to a new episode, and then do some gardening or learn how to kite surf, ride your bike, exercise, do all sorts of stuff. And then at the end,
Mhm.
they're going to be way more prepared for this world. And then you'll find your true passion. Like you'll be like, that's so interesting. You go down that path. School just railroads you into being an automaton.
I know. I agree. It's just, yeah.
So
Um, and so this question's actually from my brother.
Go.
I've been talking to him a bit about it too. If the Earth has a negative charge, why is it that when I scoop up dirt, it falls to the ground?
Because it's
If everything above the Earth has a positive charge, why don't we repel each other? So like, I can't repel, this phone,
because
for example.
it's such a light charge. It's so light that our buoyancy and density just it sets the downward direction. However, when lightning strikes next to somebody, they go flying in the air. That's because the earth gets a strong positive charge and sends you flying. And when you lift dirt in the
Okay.
air, it's now surrounded by a positive charge and it goes down. That's it. It's more dense than the air, right? Some people say
So
you
then
don't. Good.
what's creating the negative charge then? Like,
There's a
I don't know, I'm a
flow.
little
We live
confused.
in this toroidal field. There's a flow of energy. There's a measurable flow of energy that goes down. And the higher up you go, the higher that voltage is. And it's measurable. You can pull free energy out of the air. That's why they're hiding. That's what Tesla was showing, the free energy everywhere. If you didn't have to pay for electricity
Mhm.
or air conditioning or heat or fuel for your car, that would free up a lot of time. If you had unlimited
Yep.
power, you'd probably become a really good entrepreneur and come up with something that can change
Hmm.
humanity. But they don't want people freely exploring, understanding what this realm is, and living to their full potential.
Evil.
Yeah,
So basically you're saying that when the energy goes higher, it's like a positive charge. So when it goes down, I'm having a little trouble visualizing it.
so there's a downward flow of energy into the earth. It's a downward flow of energy. And during electrical storms, things fall at different speeds. Right here is schooling globers. I think Austin has um
There's a
a
lot of stuff on
one.
that web button.
Yeah, no, this one's good. No, this is not the web button. This is the homeschool button, right? The one that it looks
Oh,
like a home, right? It looks like a home with a kid and a desk.
oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
that's school, that's high level, awesome stuff. Austin's great. Austin, you've seen Austin debate, yes? Austin Whitsitt
Uh,
is by far the best. He's so smart, it's ridiculous.
what's his channel name? Does he have
His
a
channel's
YouTube
name is
channel?
Whitsitt Gets It. But just go there. That's his channel, right? On the app.
Gotcha,
Click
gotcha.
that. And then he has it's a list called the Schooling Glober series. He has all different stuff. And look for the one that talks about gravity. Talks about
Okay.
gravity. And his episodes are like 2 to 3 hours, but they're awesome. They're
They're
awesome.
more in depth, because I'm
They're
like,
more in depth.
I want it more in depth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
that's that's what
that'll
you
be
want.
good. That'll be good.
And just
Yeah,
for
for sure.
a full range on the more resources button, have you watched um have you watched The Lost History of Flat Earth?
I haven't seen that. Oh.
Okay, so this one, I'll tell you the story real quick. It was sent to me like, hey, Dave, I'm like, when it first, you got to watch this. I was like, let me look. 5 hours long? I'm not watching this, right? And then a couple more people sent it to me, and one day I was like, I'm not watching it. And days went by, and then I'm cleaning up one night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm just I'll throw this on while I'm cleaning up. And 10 minutes later, I stop cleaning up. I'm sitting there. Next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, holy effing ass. And then I watched it again that night. So I watched a 5 hour video twice in one day.
What is wow.
It just
What is it talking about?
talk about everything from Tataria to flat Earth. It's all tied in together. It's good. Now, do I agree
Oh.
with 100% of what he says in there? No. 95, maybe 90, definitely over 90. All right. So
Right.
take the good, leave the bad, and pay attention. But that one, I guarantee. How about this? I'll make you this bet. You watch it, you'll watch it again.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then there's a whole series that comes after that. But again, don't follow anybody. Use your own God-given common sense. You're a smart kid.
Right.
You're smart, right? And if you can't figure something out, it's probably because it's stupid.
Yeah, that yeah, for sure. It's always the wrong stuff that's confusing.
Yeah.
So another question here. You often posit that there could be land outside of Antarctica. So I always had this question, just like, how could there be extra land outside of Antarctica if the sun isn't there to heat it up?
That's a great question, and I have two answers. So if I go over, we'll go over here, just type in maps, and we have two types of maps. So we go map, and so if we live here, and we have our sun, and it migrates in between the tropics right here, right? It makes it circle,
Mhm.
and it's cold out here. What if our
Right.
dome is kind of like a bundt cake where it comes up and it goes down and it comes up and it goes down, right? So it's you got your dome and then it comes out again like a donut around a dome. So a donut dome and a dome. Dome.
Okay.
Okay. And so if you held a light above that, a light, you would see a light in both of those domes. And if you move that light around, both of them would have their own lights going around over their lands. There'd be a light,
Interesting.
there'd be a light out here migrating like this, and there'd be light in here migrating like this. Next time it's a sunny day, you're driving on the highway or walking through a parking lot, and there's all these cars, and it's 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, high sun. Look at all the cars, and you'll see a sun in each car. Each car will have its own sun in the window. They'll
Hmm.
all have a little sun, and they'll actually look like a sun, right? So let me see. I'll show you right here.
Yeah.
Um, where is it? I have it. I always having a hard time finding things right now. Year innovation.
No worries.
Sundog. Nope. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is just me with a light over a glass dome. I got a glass dome on a white rug, and I'm just bringing it across, and look inside. It looks like a sun. I'm just going
Hmm.
straight across. And this is our atmospheric dome of vision, or the full dome. This is what it would look like from outside the dome. And I'm going to bring it back, and
Cool.
it's going to appear. It just appears and it rises. I'm just going
Hmm.
across. Now, if there was another, if I was going around, you'd see it going around. But if I had a donut shaped dome, I think that would work. That's just me. I think that would work. But let's go back here. Um, it could be simpler than that. It could be, what if the world was set up like this? You've
Don't
seen,
show me that. I don't like thinking about that. That's regarding just the firmament, not all that. At least
yeah.
that's what I am kind of
So,
leaning more toward,
well,
but that's
so
interesting.
what if this is one dome and this is another dome, and they all have their own suns? I don't know. Listen,
Yeah, we can't go because they just
maybe
want to
all
guard
of
it.
this, maybe this is all, maybe the story. If you read The Navigator Across the Ice Wall, um, this is could be one superdome over the whole thing. This whole thing could be Earth. I don't know. I don't know what's out there.
Mhm.
Maybe nothing's out there. You want to be a Bible literist, that's it. But I think the Bible says, four corners of the earth. I don't, what's beyond, we live kind of in a circular area. What's out there? There could be more out
Right.
there. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
don't, I don't think it goes against the Bible, but um,
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't say
interesting.
so either.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. So again, we don't know. That is 100% sure. And have you looked into the moon map?
No, I haven't.
Oh, ready for your head to melt? This isn't good. This
Wait,
is
what?
yeah. This is on unreal. All right. Um, this is the map of the moon, just it's inverted and colorized, and this is actually a map of the Earth. And this guy, um, called, what's the name of the channel? Vibes of the Cosmos. Um, Mapped
Wait,
out.
that's on
Oh,
the moon?
yeah, it's the moon. It's the shape of the moon. So what are all of
You're
this?
bugging.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait,
It's
where's the United States?
yeah.
Is that Africa?
So
Oh my.
so it doesn't look exactly like our map looks, right? But this is the moon
Okay.
right here. So this is Australia, right? Here, where is the United States?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's it all lines up. He literally lays it all out. So this right here, this circle is the circuit our North Pole takes. Right? It takes 26,000 years. So in 13,000 years, the sun, the North Pole will be over here, and the sun will be circling out here. And this will be frozen. This is all unknown lands. Right. And so what evidence do
Right.
we have that this is something? So if we type in Prague, you know about the Prague clock? This is the Prague clock, the oldest clock in the world in Prague. And it's showing this same thing. And it shows the flat earth map in here. Looks a lot like the moon map if you really look at it, but there's a problem. I'll tell you that in a second. And this thing I think it takes 26,000 years to go around. Shows you all the zodiacs. It shows you how it works. It's exactly what he's showing there. And again, in that 5 hour video, they talk about this. Okay,
Wow.
you're gonna watch it.
I gotta do some digging.
So Prague is a very historic town, and old historic buildings, giants, like doors that like who built this, right? And if you want to change literally a fence post, you got to go through 15 committees and historic committees and everything. But you know what they did? They changed the
What?
clock without any committees, without telling anybody. They changed it
Of course they
from
did.
this to that
Oh
without
no.
even telling anybody. The oldest clock in the
Even.
world. Yeah, that right there should tell you something.
Hmm.
Uh, they changed it to a globe.
Yep. They definitely did. I
Yep.
have a another question here now too. This is
Yep.
let me see all my questions. So I pretty much
All right.
asked
And then we got to
everything.
wrap it up. Last question.
Okay. So, I don't know if you're familiar with the cosmological argument for the proof of the existence of God. That's just what a lot of theists use, right? Because according to the heliocentric model, there's a beginning, the Big Bang, and with the theory of general relativity, the time, space, and matter had a correlative beginning, and that the person who what originated those things had to be outside of time, space, and matter, and they basically kind of, since we can see that the universe in the heliocentric model had a beginning, there must be a beginner, and that's the kind of the whole thing of the argument. But because that's all fake, how is are we able to prove that there was a beginning in the flat Earth model
I don't know.
still?
I don't know the answer to that. We can prove that this place is intelligently designed. The
For sure, for
heliocentric
sure.
model is made up by a Jesuit priest, and
Yeah.
basically he's telling the story of conception. There was a big bang. Okay, that's the concept. Then the spark of life, the lightning struck, and an amoeba was born, and then it divided its cells and it turned into a little fish and a monkey, right? It looks, and if you followed the whole story of evolution, it's literally just a human fetus growing. And they added some dinosaurs and crap in there, right? But
Hmm.
basically, it's the same story of creation of instead of 9 months, they made it 14 billion years.
Right. Yeah, it's nonsense, really. It's
It's
like
total
a
nonsense.
lot of stuff that they just like, when you're in school, they teach you, oh yeah, so the sun's 93 million miles away, and this is how eclipses work. They just like throw facts in there that they don't even attempt to try and prove,
It's all
and
pseudoscience.
then just they already have like a foundation, and they don't,
And
don't
and
question the
there's no such
foundation. They
thing
just
as peer
believe what
review
we're
because if you go against the main consensus, they won't even look at it. It's like, no, we can't look at that because that will go against everything
Yep.
that we've been teaching. So,
Same thing with medicine, food,
yep,
everything,
yep,
everything.
absolutely.
Um, if there's one other thing I could say, I know you had some type of
What state
healing
are you
device.
in? What state are you in?
Florida,
You're in
Florida.
Florida. So,
Correct.
yeah, good. So you're good. You want to know about the healing device.
Yes, I need to know about that.
Um, let's just look
Need
at
to know
Florida real
about the
quick.
healing device.
Yeah, that's it's amazing. Um, so look at this. Florida. Where in Florida are you?
I'm in Orlando.
Orlando, what's that up here? Where's Orlando? Way down here?
Yeah, somewhere. It's like in the middle of the. It's like in the middle of
All
Florida.
right, so you got a bunch of flat earthers around you. Go on the app, go on the friend finder, click on some people near you and say, "Hey, you're 2 miles from me. Let's meet for a cup of tea or something, a cup of coffee, whatever you drink, a beer. Meet at the local pub. You're only 18. Um, but meet somebody, meet a like-minded thinking person.
Hmm.
There's nothing like meeting another flat earther. It's the best thing ever. You might even find a female flat earther. Look at the profiles. It's a good dating site,
They're killing me. They're
right?
killing me. Yeah, it's been a great discussion. I'm a big fan of your work and just pretty much any flat earthers work. But you've definitely done a lot of,
Here's
like video after video. It's just
a
I really appreciate your work, and it's been a great time to talk to you and get to
you
know
don't
you.
have this on
My
your
name's
app,
Isaiah, by the way.
Isaiah. You don't have this on the app yet, but
Yeah.
there's a new button. It's a little star and it says FE in it. And these are outstanding um flat earth content creators on all different platforms. I'm just building it now. And so
Mm.
featuring robot polisher, that's just a pop-up. But here are a bunch, right? I'm actually going
Yep.
live right after this on 7 Club on TikTok with this guy, right? So you click
Ooh.
it, it opens it up, and then if I click it again, it'll take you to their site. So if you ever, there's so much content on there and the frequently asked questions and the more resources will keep you busy forever. But you're like, hey, what's new? Go click on one of these guys, follow them, and there's going to be a whole bunch. There's going to be, I literally just started loading it up today, but it's not
That's
on your app.
great.
It'll be out next week. And then, what type of computer do you have? Just a question.
I have a Windows gaming
Windows.
computer.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mac, I'm gonna have a Mac app. This is the Mac app actually that's coming out hopefully next week. And then after that, there'll be
Oh,
Windows
so
version.
you're gonna get it on computer. You're gonna
Yeah,
get it
you
on
can do it on
computer.
the
Yeah, I
computer
was
too.
gonna see like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be so great because I'm always on my computer, not my phone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's actually I greatly appreciate that update. That'd be great.
All right, man.
I need to have that on my computer.
All right,
Yeah, it's
dude.
been great to talk to you. Had an amazing time.
Thanks.
We'll see what my friends think of this. When is this gonna be premiered?
Um, I'll,
Today or
I'll, I'll,
tomorrow or
I gotta edit it. It depends on how long I'm on this TikTok live.
for
So
sure,
it'll,
for sure,
it'll,
for sure.
it'll be up tomorrow. And I guess I'll do it as a premiere. I'll
Yeah,
probably
whatever you want, whatever you want. I don't mean to be
I'll
forceful or
just air
anything.
it. I'll send you the link.
Sounds
Unless you
good.
want it,
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
you want it as a premiere so people can go in and scream. You want people in the chat?
Yeah,
I'll premiere it.
whatever you want. Whatever,
When do you
whatever
want me
you
to
want.
premiere it?
Whatever you
Tomorrow
want.
night?
Whatever's most convenient to you. I don't want to be
I
forced or
can do
anything
it
like
at
that.
2 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. I'll just schedule it. When do you want it to premiere? Tell me. What time of day?
Tomorrow, like 7 p.m. same time today.
7 p.m. You got it. I'll set it up for tomorrow. All right. I'll
Sounds
send you a
good.
link. All right, man.
Thanks so much.
Peace. See
Thanks
ya.
so much, Mr. West. Have a great day.
See ya. Bye bye.